The ride of my life. I woke up late. Again. The alarm clock was doing its best, screaming like a frantic rooster on steroids. But my dreams had been too cozy. When I finally opened my eyes and saw the time 7:43 a.m., I jumped out of bed like a cat on fire. I had exactly 17 minutes to shower, get dressed, eat something, preferably not expired, and pedal my way through a small city jungle to my office. I work at a graphic design studio across town. Normally, I ride the subway, but today, fate had other plans. The subway was closed track repairs, so my trusty and rusty blue mountain bike, affectionately named Thunderbolt, was my only hope. I took a deep breath and pushed off. The morning air slapped me in the face, like an old aunt who hadn't seen me in years. But I was determined. Block 1, smooth sailing. I felt the wind in my hair and imagined I was in a movie montage with inspirational music. That lasted about 8 seconds. Suddenly, a squirrel ran across the street like it had stolen something. I swerved to avoid it and almost crashed into a mailman. The poor guy screamed, threw a bunch of letters into the air, and shouted, "Use the sidewalk! Tour de France!" I apologized and kept pedaling, trying not to laugh. At the second block, I ran into the dreaded school zone. The sidewalks were full of hyper kids, slow parents, and one aggressive crossing guard who looked like he could wrestle a bear. "Slow down!" he shouted, stepping into the street and holding up a sign like he was stopping traffic on a runway. I nodded politely, but didn't slow down much. Thunderbolt doesn't do well at low speeds. It starts to squeak like a dying dolphin. Just as I escaped the chaos of kids and coffee-carrying parents, I heard a bark. Then another. I turned my head and saw them. 3 chihuahuas. Small, but possessed by demons. They were sprinting after me, barking like they'd just watched a documentary on how to hunt humans. I pedaled faster. I could hear their tiny paws slapping the pavement behind me. My legs burned. I wasn't just going to work anymore, I was running for my life. Thankfully, a passing ice cream truck distracted them. They turned on a dime and attacked it with the rage of fluffy velocity tours. I kept going, now sweating like a popsicle in the desert. Block 5, a construction site. No signs, no warnings. Just sudden gravel, mud, and a massive trench that I barely avoided. One wrong move, and I would have ended up buried next to a water pipe. I shouted at the workers, "You might want to mark the death trap." One of them waved cheerfully. "Adds excitement to the commute." I had no time to argue. I was already late. Now I was approaching downtown, only 4 blocks to go. That's when the sky turned gray, and I heard a rumble. No, 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 no. It started slow, just a drizzle. Then came the downpour, like the universe had tipped over a giant bucket. Cars honked. A woman on a Vespa yelled something in Italian. I made it across miraculously, my heart beating faster than my pedals. By now, I was drenched, exhausted, and about to give up. But I was so close. 2 blocks to go. That's when I heard someone crying. I slowed down and saw a little girl on the sidewalk. She had a pink backpack and a Scooby-Doo umbrella turned inside out. Her balloon was tangled in a tree, and she was alone. I stopped. Something inside me said, "Forget the job for a second." "Hey," I said, "you okay?" She sniffled. "My balloon flew away, and my dad's late, and I don't know where my school is." I looked up. The balloon was just low enough. I leaned thunderbolt against the tree, climbed up on a bench, stretched my arm, and slipped. I fell straight into a puddle. The girl laughed. Not in a mean way, just the pure, innocent kind that makes you feel alive. I started laughing too, even though I was sitting in muddy water and might have cracked a rib. But I got the balloon. I stood up, handed it to her, and said, "Don't tell anyone about the tree thing, okay?" She nodded, still smiling. Just then, a man came running around the corner, frantic and out of breath. "Sophie, I'm so sorry." I waved and said, "She's okay. We had a balloon situation." He thanked me over and over. As they walked off, she turned around and waved. "Bye, Balloon Man." I smiled and whispered, "Bye, Side Quest." Finally, I reached my office building. I walked in like a soggy superhero dragging a squeaky bike behind him. Everyone stared. My boss looked at me and raised an eyebrow. "You're late." "I know," I said, breathing hard. "But I saved a balloon, survived 3 dogs, and stopped a child from crying." He blinked. Then he started laughing. "Go change. You've earned it." And in that moment, I realized, sometimes the journey is the best part of the day. Even the frantic, wet, dog-chasing, balloon-rescuing kind. Deixa o like, compartilha e se inscreve no canal para não perder os próximos. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.